This profound and timeless wisdom has inspired and transformed the lives of millions around the world. Now that you have come across it, it is essential to embed these concepts deeply into your subconscious mind. I encourage you to read the description below this video and follow the provided links to explore various options that will assist you in achieving the optimal results you desire. The journey to success is merely a single decision away. Thank you for tuning in and for subscribing to the Top Mindset Growth channel, your guide in the science of self-mastery and wealth creation. There comes a pivotal moment in every person's life, a moment when the noise of the world fades away, leaving you confronted with a simple yet profound question. Am I the master of my own being, or am I merely a servant to my fears? True wealth, the kind that bends reality to align with your desires and embodies your vision, does not stem from lucky breaks or random circumstances. It emerges from within, cultivated in the furnace of discipline, forged through relentless clarity, and anchored in the sacred science of self-mastery. You do not achieve prosperity by chasing after money. Rather, you manifest wealth by mastering yourself. It's about conditioning your thoughts to become instruments of power, transforming yourself into a living magnet for abundance by attuning your mind to a frequency that resonates with the language of money. This is not just philosophical musing. It is the very physics of the soul. Consider Thomas Edison, who did not accidentally discover the light bulb. He fought valiantly against mediocrity, enduring over 10,000 failures while maintaining a belief that was more resilient than steel. Why? Because Edison had conquered the one adversary that every prosperous person must defeat: himself. Self-mastery isn't taught in schools or passed down as an heirloom. It is forged through persistent practice, carved with unwavering focus, and solidified with clear intention. Your financial struggles are not due to a lack of external resources. Rather, they stem from impoverished thoughts, undisciplined habits, and emotions that govern you instead of serving you. The most formidable prisons are not constructed of bricks, but rather are created from limiting beliefs, thoughts that bind your potential with invisible chains. The master key to break free from these chains? Self-command. When a master mentors a young disciple, he doesn't present him with riches. Instead, he offers a challenge, a lifelong quest to uncover the science of success, the code to wealth, a formula that elevates the ordinary to the extraordinary. Consistently, amidst complexities, the underlying truth remains. If you can control yourself, you can shape your destiny. Every fortune begins with a decisive choice, not a wish or a fleeting daydream, but a resolute decision forged in silence, fueled by unwavering faith. The universe responds to this sort of conviction. It does not dispense external wealth in the absence of internal order. Money does not cling to the disorganized. It flees from the weak-minded. However, it gravitates toward those who have refined themselves through disciplined thought, patience, and precision, never to be squandered, but instead multiplied. Walt Disney envisioned an empire long before he possessed a single brick. His belief was so profound that it attracted animators, builders, and bankers, while he possessed nothing more than a dream and a sketchbook. Because self-mastery grants you power over the intangible, it is here that all wealth begins, in the unseen realm of thought. Yet, thought alone is insufficient. It must be cultivated with the discipline of a wild stallion. Your mind can throw you off course unless you learn to wield it. Every day that begins without intention or direction hands your life over to chaos, surrendering your autonomy in exchange for mere survival. When you wake with purpose, you begin to mold the world to your design. Henry Ford did not seek permission to change the landscape of industry. He initiated an automotive empire grounded in a mind driven by purpose. His mastery of the inner domain was so absolute that the external world had no choice but to yield. This is the essence of self-mastery. When the world no longer dictates your pace, but you govern your internal laws. Your wealth is not a product of the economy. Rather, it arises from your responses to it. Circumstances are neutral, indifferent to outcomes. It is how you react that births transformation. Most people react. The wealthy, however, respond. The majority follow. The affluent lead. Many wait. The rich create. What accounts for this stark contrast? It is the science of self-mastery. You cannot master that which you do not monitor. Self-awareness is your greatest weapon. Observe your thoughts as a scientist would. Every fear, excuse, and doubt must be labeled, dissected, and ultimately destroyed. For these are the termites that undermine the foundation of your destiny. Earl Nightingale elucidated, "We become what we think about," yet he failed to emphasize that most individuals do not engage in genuine thinking. They merely react, absorb, and parrot. Thought is labor. Intentional thought is warfare. The individual who triumphs in that internal battle cannot be impeded by external forces. Markets may crash, banks may falter, and governments may fall, but true wealth, the wealth that emanates from within, remains steadfast. Discipline is the engine driving wealth. Without it, ambition is a leaky vessel. You cannot fill a cracked foundation with gold. You must seal it with habits, fortify it with rituals, and anchor it with decisions made before emotional impulses arise. You do not require motivation. What you need is mastery. Motivation is transient, a fleeting sugar rush. Mastery is the essence of your being, the continuous honing of your skills. It is the conscious choice of grinding through the mundane rather than seeking superficial glamour, planning over pleasure, and investing in the future over immediate gratification. The wealthy think long-term, while the poor chase short-term gains. Self-mastery is the capacity to withstand the fire of impatience, maintaining your vision without flinching. It means resisting the seductive whispers of comfort and proclaiming, "Not today." To break free from the invisible chains that confine 97% of the population to mediocrity requires daily effort, not merely once, but on a continual basis. Nikola Tesla, a mind so keen it could fracture the very structure of reality, lived in a state of relentless obsession. Yet, it was his disciplined thought that bridged imagination and invention. He understood a truth that many overlook. Riches are simply energy, directed with precision. You are the conductor of this energy, your thoughts serving as the baton, your beliefs establishing the tempo, and your habits forming the orchestra. If they lack harmony, the symphony of your life can never ascend to greatness. Do not envy the rich. Instead, study them. Trace their wealth back to its origins, and you will uncover not luck or inheritance, but a relentless commitment to self-mastery. You will discover clarity where confusion reigns, sacrifice where shortcuts are sought, and vision where others drown in distractions. You are not meant for mediocrity. Your existence is a testament to your potential. Yet, that potential is meaningless until you learn to command it. Each battle is fought not in the external world, but within yourself. Each time you silence a doubt, transcend a distraction, or act from vision rather than mere reaction, you claim victory for your future fortune. Let others chase fleeting trends. Let them scroll and complain. You are called to build, to train, and to elevate yourself. Because wealth does not appear for those who merely desire it. It gravitates toward those who have prepared themselves to receive it. Preparation begins with mastering oneself. Self-mastery starts in the mind, but it does not conclude there. Thought without action remains mere fantasy. A dreamer devoid of discipline is nothing more than an imaginative beggar. If you yearn for riches, not solely in currency, but in dominion over your life, you must entwine thought with movement. Clarity must lead to commitment, and that commitment must manifest in consistent, deliberate, focused action. When Wallace D. Wattles authored The Science of Getting Rich, he did not extol luck or chance, but rather the power of doing things in a certain way. Not occasionally, but with unwavering intensity in every moment. Success is not shrouded in secret. It is a systematic process, and self-mastery operates as the foundational software on which such success thrives. Your rituals shape your reality. What you do when no one is observing lays the groundwork for the results visible to others. Fortune does not derive from grand gestures. Instead, it flourishes through the quiet discipline of countless minor acts, the early morning efforts, the measured breath before responding in anger, the resolute rejection of procrastination. The small but powerful acts multiplied day after day mark the genesis of dynasties. You cannot implore the universe for gifts that you're not yet ready to handle. If you cannot master your mornings, you will never command millions. If you lack control over your impulses, you will remain powerless to influence. The outside world is merely a reflection of your inner landscape. Observe your surroundings. Your bank account mirrors your behavioral patterns. Your relationship reveals your emotional discipline, and your health reflects your consistency. The world does not deceive. It merely reflects. If you find yourself unsatisfied with the reflection, don't blame the mirror. Alter the image you present. Charles F. Haanel expressed in the Master Key System that wealth is a byproduct of mental law. He argued that abundance is not a random game of chance, but rather the natural outcome of causes you can control. The greatest cause of all is the self you choose to become. You cannot resonate with greatness while indulging in habits of weakness, nor can you claim the identity of a king while living like a pawn. You cannot expect a plentiful harvest from seeds that you have failed to plant. The wealthy do not gamble. They engineer. They do not wait. They take action. They do not wish. They will their futures into existence. Willpower is the ability to command yourself amidst the noise of life. It is the choice to pursue what needs to be done over what is merely comforting or appealing. It involves disregarding doubts, fatigue, and fear, choosing instead to heed your vision, your purpose, and the grand design you have set for your life. Training your will is akin to training your body. It requires repetition, resilience, and resistance. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind is a servant. It obeys instructions without question. Unfortunately, many are poor leaders to this servant, as they feed their subconscious with fear, laziness, and distraction, then wonder why their lives devolve into repetitive patterns of bother and struggle. You must reprogram the mind by issuing commands with new language, new imagery, and new affirmations that are spoken with passion, repeated with belief, and enacted with conviction. The subconscious mind acts like fertile soil. If you sow seeds of worry, do not expect a bountiful harvest of wealth. Speak of yourself as someone who is already prosperous. Think like one who commands their future, and act with the certainty that what you desire is already in motion, irresistibly drawn to you by the magnetic force of your unwavering belief. Gratitude serves as the fuel for this magnetic force, not passive or reactive gratitude that waits for favorable outcomes before expressing thanks, but proactive, preemptive gratitude that acknowledges abundance before it materializes. It is the mindset of declaring, "I am already rich, and the world is simply catching up to the vision I hold." Every wealth master comprehends this principle. Gratitude is not merely a feeling, it is a frequency. When you tune your emotions to gratitude, you synchronize with abundance. Amandino recognized gratitude as the fertile seed from which joy sprouts. In turn, joy, when anchored with purpose, transforms into power. Not the fragile power of ego, but the deep and immovable power of certainty. However, let's clarify. Life will put you to the test. This is not a form of punishment. It is an essential part of the journey, a fire that purifies the steel of your soul. Obstacles are not hindrances along your path. They are the path itself. Each challenge you encounter is specifically designed to gauge your mastery over self. Do you respond with panic or grace? Do you crumble under pressure or rise to poise? Do you question your worth, or do you command your faith? Every storm you weather reveals the integrity of your mind. And if you are genuinely pursuing wealth, you should expect storms. For it is only through storms that you discover your weak points. Resilience is not merely the ability to recover. It is the discipline to rise higher after every setback. It is transforming defeat into data, the art of turning challenges into strategies. Abraham Lincoln faced numerous defeats before eventually being elected president. While many would have faltered, Lincoln's fortitude was built upon a foundation so deep that external failures only ignited his inner strength. You too must develop such resilience, the unwavering determination that states, "I will not relent. I will not shatter. I cannot be denied. I am the master of my own fate, the captain of my soul." Adaptability is another hallmark of self-mastery. The wealthy adjust, reinvent, and evolve, while the rigid are inevitably shattered. History attests to this truth. Those who cling to the past are swept away, while those who continuously reinvent themselves amidst change soar to new heights. The economy may shift, technology may advance, and markets may collapse, but true masters are not straitjacketed by the past. They are dedicated to the destiny they are crafting. You must be willing to shed layers of your former self to embrace the wealth that lies in wait. Release identities that no longer serve you, the stories, the excuses, and the dependence on external validation. You are not a reflection of your past. You are a manifestation of the choices you make today. Wealth is not merely a numerical figure or a property on a hill. It is a choice to think, act, and live as if you are already rich. Rich in discipline, clarity, control, and belief. Riches are not something to be pursued. They are something to be attracted, and this attraction comes from the person you choose to cultivate. At some juncture in your journey, the world will quiet, not because everything has
aligned perfectly, but because you have finally aligned within yourself. Your thoughts will stop betraying you. Your emotions will no longer dictate your actions, and your behaviors will sustain your ambitions. You will become a vessel of pure intention, a weapon forged in the crucible of your own transformation. This moment of inner stillness is the threshold, a gateway to true riches. It is more than wealth. It signifies mastery, fulfillment, and self-worth. This is what Andrew Carnegie communicated to Napoleon Hill. Any idea, plan, or purpose can be instilled in the mind through the repetition of thought. Repetition not only in words, but through discipline, intention, and relentless, aligned effort. Carnegie understood that riches are conceived in silence and shaped by faith, ultimately materialized through action. Most individuals fail to advance beyond the wishing stage. They linger, hope, and fantasize. But you were engineered to will your destiny into existence. There is a science, a structural elegance, a sacred rhythm to self-mastery that paves the way to wealth. Control your thoughts, or they will control you. Discipline your actions, or they will betray your ambitions. Align your inner world, or your outer reality will remain in chaos. It is not sheer talent that separates the affluent from the impoverished. It is unwavering focus, certainty, and relentless follow-through. Thomas Edison encountered thousands of failures en route to illuminating the world. He did not perceive failure as defeat. He viewed it as data. He did not pause to lament. Instead, he recalibrated. This epitomizes true self-mastery. Such is the path you must traverse to realize your vision.
Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more motivational content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.